Good day and welcome to Team 21 system. We have a medical system and it's called the DigiMedCare system. This is our welcome page and our home page. We developed this for our client who is a specialist physician in internal medicine. This is Dr. Sonia Koch. Here we can read more about her and her company and the business environment she's in and also the company's location. So her problem was she didn't really have an existing system. It was mostly paper-based and we wanted to change that for her. So we came in and built a system that is a practice management system where we digitize a lot of the processes. Here is our team. On the Meet Our Team tab, we have Hein, Janku, David, Monique, and Jessica. Then going back to the homepage, we can go down. Here are some reasons why you should choose our system, all of the functionalities we have and why it's so nice. Then we also have some core functions. This goes a bit deeper into the specific parts of our system and what we do. Then we also have some help tips for the patients or anyone viewing the website, and then some contact information and business hours. So let's get to it. Let's log in. Here is the login page. We are going to log in as the admin because we want to see everything. Then we're going to click the login button. This will then take us to the OTP page. For now, we put OTPs as 0 just because we use Twilio and we don't want to run out on all of our OTPs. Okay, so now here is the system. We will go to the codes page. These are ICD-10 codes. So this basically tells you what is wrong with the patient. Here we have the full CRUD functionality, and we also have pagination. So let's say we want to see 10 items on a page. So we can search for a code. Let's say we want to search for code H10. Here it is. It displays. We can also add a new code. So let's click on the Add ICD-10 code button. This takes you to the Add ICD-10 code form. Here we can put in a new code, let's say MO7. The description will just say it is some sickness. Then we can click Save. This will then save it to the table. Now, since this is a new thing we added, we will go to the last page, and here you can see is the thing we just made. Then we also have the ability to edit it. So let's click on the Edit button. This takes you to the Edit ICD-10 code form. Here we can change the code. Let's say we want to make this a section out of 7. We will keep the description the same, but we can edit it if we want to. Click Save. And then here we can see it updated the code. Then we can also delete it by clicking on the Delete button. It will ask me if I'm sure I want to delete this. I'll click the OK button, and then it will delete it. Now, let's say we want to delete something that is already mentioned in a consultation or in a patient admission form for a patient. So it's linked to a patient, which means we shouldn't be able to delete it. So let's just take the first one. We click on the Delete button, say OK, and then it will tell me a code cannot be deleted while it references a consultation code. Then we say OK. So that is the full CRUD functionality. For the ICD-10 codes, we can then go to the Referral Doctor tab, which is just referrals. Here, we also have the ability to grab the referral doctor. So we can start by searching anything like the name, surname, contact information. Let's just search for the name. So we're going to say Simone, and it updates. Then we can also go and add a new referral doctor. So we click on the Add Referral Doctor button. Here we can put in the referral doctor's information on the Add Referral form. So we are just going to fill this in with the name, the surname, the contact information, the email address, the username we can enter, and then we can also enter the password. When we're happy with that, we can click the Register button. This will then go and save the referral doctor that we just added. So let's see if it added. he said that here is the line that we added, the doctor that we added. Then we can also go and edit this. So if you want to change something, we click on the edit button. It takes you to the edit referral doctor form. Let's say we want to change the name. We'll change it to Brandon. Then we can click the save button when we're happy. This will then again, if we go to the last page, see it changed the name. Then we can also delete it. It will ask me if I'm sure if I want to delete this referral doctor. I'll say okay, because I am sure. And then it deleted it from the list. Then we also have the ability to send the referral doctor an invite. So we have a mobile app where they can chat with the doctor. And if we want them to go and download this app, we then click on the send app button. This opens a form where you can then type in the email address, type in the email body, something like join my app for consultation. So they can talk about a patient, and then you can click send, and then it will go and send that invite to the referral doctor that's on our system. So that's the CRAD for referral doctor. We can then go to the prescription tab. Here we can do prescription management. So once again, we can search it. Let's just search for a patient that we want to give a prescription to. So we'll say Mary. There we can see her. We can then also go and add one. So we click on the add button. It takes you to the add prescription form. We select the prescription type. We're just going to say it's standard. The patient's name, we can then go and select from all the patients on our system. Let's say we take Steve. Then we'll tell them for when the prescription is. So we'll say it starts today, and then the end date is in 2 weeks. The medication, we're going to give him some aspirin. The dosage, we can just say is 10 milligrams, and then the instruction is take twice a day. Then we can also go and add medication if you want to give them more than one type of medication on a prescription, and then we can also click the remove button if we decided no, that I actually only need one type of medication. We click remove, and then when we are happy, we can click the submit button. This will then add that prescription to the patient's name in our list. So here is the one we just added. We can then click on the edit button to go and edit it. Let's say we want to make it chronic. We are happy with the rest of the details. We can then click save on this edit prescription form. It will then update the details, and now you can see the prescription type is chronic. Then we can go and delete this. You can click on the delete button. It will ask me if I'm sure if I want to delete this prescription, and I will say okay. So that is it then. You can also check if a prescription is linked to anything else, if we can delete it. If you don't want to delete it, we can just say cancel. Then next, we can go to the chat tab. So the chat tab is what we mentioned previously, where on our system, we have the ability to talk to referral doctors that are outside of our system through the app and through the system. So here we have the search for a referral doctor search bar. And at the moment, it says we do not have any referral doctors with that name. So we will then have to go and add them, the referral doctors. So then let's go to the FAQ tab. This is where the employees or the patient can go and ask a question, and then admin or the doctor will go and answer them regarding this question. So we can say we want to ask a question. We can say something like, what is the purpose of this medical system? We can submit it. And then the admin can also go and answer this. So we can be like, it's for better patient management, for example. We can then click the save button, and then the answer will be saved, and then this can be viewed on the system. We can also go and edit it. We can go and edit the answer and say it's for better patient management. And here we can save it, it will update it, then we can also go and delete the FAQ. It will ask me if I'm sure, I will say yes I am, and then it deletes that. Then we can also log out of the system. So we will do this by going on the nav bar and then clicking on the logout button. This will then take me back to the welcome page and I will have to log in again with my details. Here we have the help tab of the system. So this takes you to the help document where the user can get section specific help. So there's two ways to access this. You can either click on the help tab, which will take you to this screen, or you can click on any other tab, and all of them have this help button. So if you click the help button, it will take you to the help tab and it will take you to that specific section. So here we clicked on medical schemes, which means we want medical scheme help. This will then take you to the help document and to that specific section, as you can see here. So here we can get all the help we need. Let's go back up. We have an index on the help document where you can click specific sections to go to that section instead of having to scroll. And then we also have the ability to search for a section. So we can click here in the search bar and then we can say B. This will show you all the sections that have a B in it. So it's like bookings, billings, backup and restore. And then if you click on that, it will take you to that section.
To create a disease, you'll go to the disease tab, and then once in the disease tab, you can add a new disease by clicking the add disease button. Then you'll provide the information of your disease. Then you'll select the add disease button, and if you go to the last page, you can see that your new disease has been added. You can then go ahead and edit this disease in case it's actually not delivered, the heart. And you can click update. And if you go back to the last page, it's updated your disease description. You can then also search for it. And lastly, you can delete it from the system. So when you go back to the last page, it's no longer there. Now to add a procedure, you go into the procedures tab on the navigation bar and you click create procedure. Then you type in the procedure code and then the comment of what the procedure is. And then you add the price of the procedure and you click submit. Then if you go to the last page, you can see the procedure has been added. You can then edit the procedure. So if you want to edit the procedure price, and if you spelled it wrong, you can click save. Go to the last page and you can see it's updated the procedure price and the procedure comment. You can then also search your procedure that you just created. Sorry, I forgot the name. And then you can click delete and then it deletes the procedure. Now, if you go to the last page, you can see the procedure has also been removed. Is to add a medical scheme. So you'll select the medical schemes tab on the navigation bar and it'll bring you to this screen. You can then add a medical scheme clicking the add medical scheme button. Then you can type in the information for that medical scheme and then you can provide the email address and it has to be in a +27 contact number format and the email address has to have an @ and a dot. and then you can submit. And then if you go to the last page, you can see that it has been added into the table. You can then search the medical schemes, and it appears. If you click edit, because you got the contact number wrong, so that was meant to be a 3 instead of a 2, you click submit, and you go back to the last page. You can see that the 2 has now turned into a 3, and then you can delete the medical scheme from the system. And as you can see, the medical scheme has been deleted. Next is the educational material. So you will go to the educational material tab in the navigation bar, and you will click add educational material button. Here you can provide a short description of what the video is about. Here you can upload a video, or you can provide a link. So I'm going to provide a link. Then you can choose the image that will be displayed as a cover photo. Once that is done, you can save, and your new educational material will be added. You can then search the educational material, and you can edit it if you named it the wrong thing, or you can change the image or the link. You can save it again, and you can see it updated, and then you can delete the educational material from the system as well. Next is forgot password. So if you click login and you have forgotten your password to log in with, you can click forgot password, where you have to provide your username. So in this case, you can say admin. You will select the send password button, and you will receive an SMS on your phone with the new password. Now, to add a medication to the system, you go into the medications tab, and here you click the add medication button, and you can type in the medication name, and then you click the save button. And if you go to the last page, you can see it's been added. You can then also search for the medication, and you can edit it. So if you spelled it wrong, and then if you go back to the last page, you can see it's been edited. And then you can also delete the medication from the system. So now we go back to the last page. You can see it's no longer there.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm just here to explain my parts of the system. Here, I will go to the audit trail itself. In the audit trail, you will see the date, the username, action performed, affected entity, old values, and then new values. This is just to show when the action was performed, who performed it, the username of the person being logged in. The action performed can be anything in terms of what the action is, and an affected entity is the table in the database, with the old values being and the old values before it being updated, and then the new values if there's something new being added. You can also search for a specific thing if you wanted to, like the create, and it will show you the certain create functions. It will search within all the fields, so that's why the create is here as well. Just to show it being updated, I can go, for example, to procedures and then just quickly create a procedure code. I can just here procedure code. I can just make like that, make a taster and have the price set to 2000, for example. Here you will see if I open it up, I can have that, and then I can edit the code and then delete the whole thing. And if I move over to the audit trail, you will see here it has the create procedure with price because it's a specific action, update procedure, and then delete the procedure. Has no new old values with the new values, also with the update, and then delete itself. So that will do it for the audit trail. Okay, moving over to the user roles. Obviously, first you will navigate towards the user roles tab here. Here you will see all the user roles that's currently in the system itself, the usual name that's being assigned towards the user itself, which is linked towards the privileges, a small description of what the user role does, and then the user role privileges. This is just the main privileges, meaningly it's the seeing of different tabs inside the nav bar. It's just saved as a normal string with the comma separated it to actually read whether or not you have access to a certain tab. I have the normal CRUD features of it. Here you can also search for a specific user role if you wanted to, and it will search within the table itself. We can just go over through a simple step-by-step thing. So here is a tester, let's just call it testing. And then here you will see all the role privileges is all the tabs within the system, and then you can select whether or not they can see the tab itself. If you select a certain tab, let's go to medical schemes for example, you will see it will pop up with create, update, delete. This is the create features, update and delete features that you can dynamically assign for each person or for each user role itself. So here for, let's go to medical schemes and medication for an example, give all those privileges towards the user role of tester. I will go through the process of actually applying this to a certain person and then showing that it actually works. To just finish off here, you will see in the edit function, it will show all the existing privileges that they have. For example, this is admin's privileges that I'm currently logged in as. It has every single privilege in the system for administration purposes. And if you go over, for example, patient, it has certain features within a tab. For example, it does automatically adjust according to the tab itself, because there's, for example, in bookings, there's an emergency slot. And if you go over to documents, for example, there's an export button as well. So this loads all the specific privileges that the user role has. So let's just go over to the admin side, and then you will see if I, for example, let's go to medical schemes. I have the add, edit, and delete features of medical schemes on admin I'm currently logged in as. So let's go over to medical schemes itself and then take away, for example, the create and update button. So if I take that away, if you go over to medical schemes, now again, you will see the create and update button is gone of this user role. If I go back and put them the things back, and you will see if I, for example, that column that says actions, if you take away both buttons within that column, for example, nothing loads on that column, the whole column will be hidden as well. So if you go over, you'll see the action column itself is missing. And then thirdly, if you take away the main privileges, so viewing the tab itself, for example, here's the medical schemes. If you take it away and you save, you will see medical schemes is not available for this user role itself. I'll just go back and add it back in, just so I have everything again. You'll see it gets added back and has all the privileges itself. So moving over to assigning the user role itself. If a patient is created in the system automatically gives them the user role of patient. But if a employee is created, the person, whoever has access towards the employee tab, can go here and have access towards the user role tab. You will see if you click on it, for example, let's go to my own employee thing. If you go to user roles, see it's currently blank, and then you can assign it a certain user role. We can assign it now tester. Just to recap, I have in user roles, I have medical schemes and medication itself. You will see the help will be in every single user role, so it's not included in this user roles, as it will have a general feedback for every single person that wants to be in the system itself. So now I can just go over to the employee, see, okay, the username is Yanku. I will log out and log back in again as Yanku. Username and password. Get the OTP, and you'll see I have medical schemes and medication itself. You'll see I have both of all these things within that and the help document. So if I log back in now again, admin, we can also see that all the tabs is back and correlating within the certain user roles privileges. So that will be all regards to user roles. And yeah. Okay, moving over to last but not least of my side, the reporting itself. So if you navigate over to the reporting tab, you'll see here is a drop down with all the different reports that's in the system. We will go through it like one by one. So here is the monthly outstanding debt report. So you'll see you can select by the different year frame, it's the year or a specific month itself. So here you will see the amount paid and an outstanding amount in the specific month itself. You can go through like for a month, specific month, or you can see the whole year that's been grouped by the different months. Exactly the same with the payments received report, except this is just for the different payments received on the different months for the procedures itself. Next you'll see on consultation reports, it's split up within 3 different criterias: the consultation types, the consultation ICD-10 codes, and then the emergency levels itself. So here we'll just, for example, have from January 1st till December 31st. Here you have the consultation types report. So you'll see here it's, for example, in-person reports is 54, and then the virtual in-person consultations was 54, and then the virtual consultations was 48. That has been in the system itself. Then we can move over to for the ICD-10 codes. This is different ICD-10 codes with their IDs and the amount of times that has been used. For example, the ICD-10 codes of ID number 2 has been used for 25 times. The bubble obviously will grow bigger the more times the ICD-10 code specific has been used. Then the emergency level report is the line report, just shows you for all the bookings we have which has what emergency level itself. So for example, emergency level 1 has 25 bookings, where emergency level 5 only has 2 bookings so far in this year. So this will do it for the consultation report itself. Next is the patient discharge report. This is just simple list report. You also see the date generated. This is the current date generated and by who is currently logged in. For example, I'm currently logged in as an admin, and you'll see it's generated by the admin itself. So here you will see just the basic patient discharge from all the discharges from the system in a table. Same with goes for referral doctors, all the referral doctor information, and then same goes for patient feedback. Patient feedback will be null at this point because the different patients itself has a form that they can fill in for the feedback that will be explained by another team member, and then the table will be populated as well. Next, we will have the monthly user report. So this monthly user report will be for a specific purpose. Is currently, before we implemented the system itself, the doctor that we're doing the system for didn't have an online booking type situation. So people called in and the receptionist made the booking for themselves. So they wanted to see how many times does people actually use the system compared to what they currently were using, if it's efficient enough. So the monthly user report will basically have 3 sections. It has the total bookings, the receptionist bookings, and the patient bookings. So there's 2 ways of a person making a booking themselves. They can either log in, they go to Google, log in as a patient, whatever their username and password is, log in, go to bookings, and create their own bookings. This will count as towards the patient bookings. Then the second option that they have is they can call in and the receptionist can log in as receptionist, and with using the user roles, they have a button inside the patients tab that has a make booking button. So they can make a booking for a specific patient. So that will count towards the patient bookings. So currently, just for the demonstration purposes, we have the total bookings at 2, and then the patient itself bookings at 2. Obviously, with people calling in, a receptionist making a booking, it will go up, and the total bookings you will see here to see how much effective the system is, or if they need to revamp the system, etc., etc. So next we'll see is the procedure report. So here we can obviously now select the range quickly, and then you'll see view report. It is all the different procedures grouped by the procedures that is on the system or being used, and then the different patients that went through this procedure. A patient can go through the same procedure more than once. That's why the total quantity can be more than the specific patient. For example, here 3 patients, but the total quantity of it being used, the procedure itself is 6. And then this is the total cost of the procedure, and then the grand total at the end is the total procedures that has been used on the system or used in general, and then the total cost itself. Here you can also filter it according to whatever you want, and then it will filter the data itself. Then the last report will be the patient procedure report. So this is the procedure report is for in general, in terms of if they want to have an overview of the procedures, so meaningly grouped by the procedures, and it goes according to the grouped by the total cost and total quantity, and nothing specific. Where the patient procedure report will be more specific towards a specific patient. So if a patient wants to call in and they want to have like a full report for whatever medical reasons, or if the company wants to see the different patients' records, they can go here. So this will be populated by all the patients in the system itself. So if you go to Mary Jane, for example, and say view report, you will get 2 sections of this report. You get the report of, it will automatically update the title, Mary Jane's procedure report. If you go to John Doe's, it will update everything. So how this works is this is not grouped by the specific procedure itself. It is the different procedures that has been used on the specific patient. So meaning the patient went through like 3 of these, for example, but it's listed as 3 different entries for the simple fact that they want to see for a specific procedure on a specific date, how much did that patient pay already and how much is owed for that specific procedure, not the group by procedures. So for example, you will see here the Mary Jane has went through 3 of these procedures, all 7,000. But for example, here she only paid almost 2.8K, where here she almost paid 4K. So this is the graph at the top. You can also, if you want to, you can take away a certain feature or certain bar graph just to see one side. And at the bottom, you will have a more in-depth explanation of the table at the top, or at the graph at the top. So here we'll see all the different times they went through a certain procedure, the correlating date, that the billing date, the date that they went through the procedure will be the billing date as well, the total cost of that specific procedure, the total amount paid they paid for that procedure, and then the amount owed for that specific procedure itself. Then at the end you will get a total, so this total cost of how much the Mary Jane, for example, has spent on or needs to spend on the procedures, the amount she actually spent, and the amount she still owes to the company itself, and then the total procedures she went through, total amount of procedures she went through. So she went through like 8 times she went through procedures, meaning. So lastly, we'll see an export to PDF. So here you can export it for presenting purposes or to have it towards a patient itself. So here, if you just save it, you can open it, just want to open it again. You can open it and then you will see in the export PDF, you will see all the details of the doctor itself, where it's located, the numbers, the emails, the place, etc., etc. Here you will also see the generated by the person currently being logged in, which I am currently being logged in as admin. The generated at, so it gives the specific time that it's been generated at 5:02. And then the patient procedure report. It does keep the title to have it specific towards that specific patient. The picture is being generated, the graphs being generated as picture, and then the table below is generated as text, so that all the numbers is exactly as planned. So you will also see that, for example, if you go to a, let's say, consultation report, and you go, we can make it emergency levels report, and you select like a random date, let's say June 1 till August 28. So you can view the report for that specific range, and if you export this, inside the report itself should also, just reload it, otherwise my settings is wrong. It should also have here report date range. So if the report includes a date range and you select a specific date range, 1st of June, 28th of August, then you will see here it's the 1st of June until the 28th of August, the report. So it correlates accordingly, and it to help obviously present the data with as much integrity as needed. So that will be all from my side. Thank you guys for listening and enjoy the system.
All right, now time for the patient admission. So here you have your patient admission tab. Here is where you would add your admission. You would select the patient, the admitted date, the discharge date, and then the ward room, the notes, and blah, blah, blah. You would submit that, and then it has been successfully added right here. Now, when I'm interacting with this patient, we can obviously search for this patient, and then you can obviously filter the admissions. There you go, between two specific dates. Now, right there. So, let me now assign a medication to this patient. They are now in the hospital, they're ill. What's my plan here? Let's give them some metformin, 45 milligrams once in the morning. And then you hit save. And then Henry Lee has his medication there. And you can assign many. You can do this as many times as you want. Yeah. Now let's say I want to edit this medication. Here you can see the different days. If I want to change the discharge date, yeah. Let's say room 54. Here I can add a referral doctor in case I feel something is wrong with this doctor. I mean with this patient. Yeah. Boom. Add the referral. Ward notes. This is the same ICD-10 codes we worked with during the consultation. So this is what's wrong with the patient. Needs attention. Oh, then you can add. There you go. And here you can edit the list of admission medications that you assigned to the patient. So I can remove the one that I just gave them. And then I can save these changes. And I can go back and I can view my lovely, lovely changes. Here they all are. So that is, as far as my knowledge is concerned, admitted patient admissions. And then, of course, you can theoretically delete an admission, which works right there, but you obviously can't delete one that is linking with other stuff. Last, but certainly not least, backup and restore. So how this would work is you can view all the previous backups. So I'm going to create a backup of the database right now. Backup is complete. I can search for that specific backup that I made today. Now, let's just delete the database. Let's just absolutely delete it. Okay, the database is deleted. No data in the system, nothing. So I would search the one I did today. I would hit restore, and it restores my backup, and everything is back. There you go. So that is the backup and restore functionality. And then, of course, you can delete older backups in case it's clogging up your system. You can delete them. But yeah, that is all my code. Thank you so much for listening to me, and enjoy your day. Good morning, good morning. I'm here to show you my INF370 project, the parts I have done. So without further ado, let me walk you through the time slots page. These time slots are basically the time slots you will find a doctor available within the practice, so you can create and remove and update time slots in which basically these are times that patients can book to see a doctor in the practice. Currently there is only one doctor in the practice, but yes. So how it would work is 11. This is me creating one. You see, there's already one there. So let me do 11:30 then. And then let me do 12. Doctor is available. Boom. Right there. If I want to edit that, or edit anyone really, let's say this one, let's make it so that they can't be available for the full time slot. There you go. Of course, you have your pagination and your search functionality present here. Now, if I want to find a specific 7 o'clock time slot, I do that. 8 o'clock time slot, I would do that. Now, that is time slots covered. Let me walk you through booking. So this right here is the admin view that you will see present for booking. So this is the booking reminder timer. So this basically is when it will send you your booking reminder through Twilio when the patient makes a booking. I will walk you through the actual process of making a booking shortly. But as is standard, the bookings are sorted from most recent. So yeah, what's up and coming. And if I wanted to filter bookings for a specific dates, would do it right here, and then you can see all these bookings for all these patients. And then of course you can search your bookings. You can search all your bookings and all that. Now, a part that this right here is the booking chart, which basically represents the most booked time slots per quarter. So you will see in January, 10 o'clock is the most booked quarter, 9:30, but 10 o'clock is still in there, still 10. So you can sort of guess that, like and form a business opinion that this 10 o'clock time slot is quite valuable. And this is when we should expect the most traffic as a practice. Now, edit. This basically, you just edit an existing booking, but let me rather first walk you through the process of actually making a booking. So if I wanted to make a booking, I would log in as a patient. Oops, I did not type in the correct, there we go. Boom. So this is me, I'm the patient. These are all my bookings that I've had throughout the year. Poor Mary Jane. So all this is disabled. The patient doesn't have access to the edit button. Now let's say I want to make a new booking. Obviously previous dates are disabled and already booked slots are disabled. I want to make a booking for, let's say, Friday, 9 to 9:30. let's say this, now what we see is, this is the add booking screen. It's the name of the patient, surname, ID number. This is the booking date you are making for, the time for which you are making it for. And the emergency level is basically, if you hover over each emergency level, you will see a little description that basically lets you know, okay, how serious is what I'm is what I'm having. So the receptionist or the doctor can view it, and they can maybe even bump you up. If your emergency level's 4 above, they can move you up to an earlier booking. The receptionist or the doctor will do this themselves upon inspecting the emergency level and the description. So obviously, just by being on a level 4, and you'll just, doesn't necessarily mean you'll get bumped up, your booking will get bumped up. After reviewing your emergency level and your description, they can decide, okay, do we bump this person up or not? And then your consultation type, virtual, in person. Then you would submit it, and then you will see it shows up right here. The reason she can't, the edit is disabled, sorry, I said this wrong, is they cannot edit past bookings. Sorry. They can edit their own bookings, but they can only edit very specific fields like the emergency level. They can't change the date. If you want to change the date, you must cancel the booking and rebook. Yeah, you cannot edit past bookings. Sorry, that's why edit is disabled here. The patient should not be able to edit their past booking. Then, of course, the delete button is you being able to delete a booking, but I will go through that with you now. So I'm going to log out. Yeah, oops. Just make sure the recording is going as planned. Yes. Okay, so we are now here. And as you saw, if I click the emergency list button here, that booking I just made pops up right here with that lovely little emergency note. So how this functions is basically when you register as an employee, you register, not as an employee, as a patient, you register with a specific address distance. So obviously this distance here is made up because I'm pretty sure we gave this patient, yeah, that address is almost made up. It's probably in like America or something. So, but in reality, how it would function is it calculates the distance, and then you will be able to see how far away specific patients are, and then you can bump up patients who are closer and who you think can make the booking. If, let's say, a patient has a booking for tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning, and they cancel that booking the day before, or even on the day, then they will see who's on the emergency list, who's the closest. Okay, let's bump this person. Let's bump this person up. Can you make it? We have an open slot for you. So how it would work then, if we decide I'm bumping Mary Jane up, you would click move up. This is the one she selected, but obviously all the past and present dates are disabled. We are going to try and move her up to tomorrow, 7:30 and 8. And then if you Google Mary, you will see right here, yeah, her booking has been moved up to 7:30 tomorrow. Yeah, so she is she's good to go. And then the delete functionality is the delete functionality. Let's say this patient calls in and well, cancels the booking, and you would delete. Booking is now deleted. Okay. Now onto the consultations. Yeah, so when you make a booking, it creates a pre-consultation for you. And now the doctor will search your consultation. There you go. This is the one we made for tomorrow. You will edit that. Now, throughout this consultation process, there are multiple things that the doctor would follow. First, you would start the recording. You would record the conversation as I am recording it now while I'm speaking to you in the video. This is for record-keeping purposes and legal purposes. Stop the recording, save the recording, and you can download, play, and delete the recording. I won't play the recording now because yeah, it's going to create issues, but yeah. And then, as you see here, the patient's details are displayed, all grayed out here, but yeah. And then when you're busy with the consultation, I will assign specific codes during this consultation. These codes are medical codes. It's basically procedures that are performed. So, and yeah, so an I-10 procedure, this is just dummy data, but an I-10 ICD-10 code would basically represent, for instance, this specific test or this specific, it's not really a procedure, but it's more a diagnosis. Sorry, it's more like what is wrong with you. So then you would assign that to the patient, and then you would add it. Yeah, well, yeah, let's say that for that patient. And then if I think there's something really, really wrong with the patient that I myself can't fix, I will take it to, I'll recommend them to a referral doctor. Yeah. And then that is done. That is done here. The only functionality I didn't show is recording note, blah, 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 blah. Save. Yeah, and then note. So you can add little descriptors to your recording. You actually should do that. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so you can actually identify it and add a note there. So just pardon that. Okay, then you would save. And then I would access that recording, and then it's all there for me to view in the future and edit and remove and add as I see fit. Then, of course, you can delete a specific procedure. Some of these will complain, I would imagine, because they are linked to various things in the system. So I would obviously have to delete another consultation. I'll have to probably find one. Yeah, there you go. That one doesn't link to anything. Okay. All right, now next up would be patient admissions. So I will navigate to the patient admissions tab. Here you can view all the admissions for this patient. Yeah, so I can search by the patient name right here. And yeah, I can filter, obviously, like I've displayed, like I've shown before. Yeah, and these are all the the admissions for that date. Let's be a little fair here. Let's just read. Oh, shoot. Oh, let me quickly get that up and running for you guys again. I didn't expect that to happen. I don't know why it just did that. I just accidentally clicked that. Okay. Anyway, sorry, apologies. Now, add a patient admission. I will select the patient, that patient. I admitted them today, and they will be discharged in a couple. Yeah, you can actually leave discharge date empty because naturally you would go back and edit that admission with that specific discharge date. But yeah, room 51, note, SSS, submit. And then you can probably look to the bottom, and that is the latest one. So it would be there. So now I have that admission. I want to assign medication to that admission. Actually, realistically, you would probably have the patient admission date, the discharge date empty. You can leave it empty if you are wondering. Yeah, and then you can practically go and just edit it. I think there's already one for that.
This is the document section of our system. Here the user can search for, let's say, a specific patient, let's say Jane, or they can they can also like select the amount of people they want to view per page. Let's keep it at 5. And they also have access to the template document. So here they can edit, export, delete the template document. So let's say they want to export it, they enter recipient's email, like send. Just going to take a while to quickly send. Sorry, computer is a little bit slow. I'll show you now. We'll wait for the email to go through. Here on the template document side, you can add a document. Let's call this one TTTT. Okay, we can quickly add a template document. We'll add this one. We're just going to wait a while to save here. There we go. We got it. We can edit it now. Same here. Let's edit it. This. Save it again. Yeah, we can also like edit the link and everything like that. So yeah, then let's go, for instance, to, let's say, Mary Jane. Here we see all the documents that have been uploaded to Mary Jane specifically. Let's add another document to Mary Jane. We'll just call this one document. This description, we'll call it T, the one that we just saw now. And we will also want to upload this document. We're just going to wait a while for the button to turn blue. A document has been added. Great. Now the document has been added there. You can also export it the same way you did the previous one. You can edit it. So for instance, let's say you are choosing a new description or something. There we go. The description has been updated. Quickly checking on the mailbox just to show you that the emails do send. Here's the email from me. That contains, sorry for this, that's taking so long, that contains the document in it. Sorry, it's just taking a while, but you can see, dear user, please find the document selected here. Sorry that's taking so while, the computer's not very nice. Whatever. Then from the patient side of documents, they can only search for their own documents, also selecting the items per page that they want to see, selecting the type, the description, also being able to view it, and then it will be downloaded. Sorry for the bad internet connection. And once again, as well as the previous one, where it can then also be exported. This is the patient section of our system. Basically here, it's a list of all the patients that you have. You can once again select the amount of patients you want to see per page. And you can also search for the patients by name to specifically add them. Let's quickly, you can see that the ID number is hashed out just for the safety of the patients. If we click edit, let's quickly edit it, just adding a bunch of numbers here, doing this. There is validation, for instance, to make sure that it is within the parameters of it. You can choose dependent, yes, no, and then you can save changes. And as you can see, it has been updated here. You can't delete a patient if it is referenced. By having an appointment already or something, or having its own set of documents because of the referential integrity. If you click the generate prescription button, it will download the Word document containing the patient's name, where the doctor can then write the prescription that of medicine that she wants to give him. And then if you go on view diagnosis, it takes you to the diagnosis screen to see basically here, and it will be discussed in another section of the video. This is our Ionic section of the program. Here the doctor can view the documents, chat with other referral doctors, check on patient admission, and also create referral doctors and or delete them or update them. So on the document side, the doctor can view the different documents that is currently on the database. This is just so that she can have quick and easy access to them. She can only export them to the recipient if you enter here a valid email, and also to download the document if she wants to view it in person. Then if the doctor is making her rounds and wants to check up on patient admission, she can make extra notes. She can't edit the patient admission, the entire patient admission, because there is too much detail to be visible here on a phone, and it would be much easier to do it on a laptop or desktop. Here she can make simple adjustments. Let's say, for instance, monitor vital. And as you can see, it has updated there. Sorry, my computer's a little slow. She can also filter for it and make any other types of adjustments. In the referral doctor section, she can edit CRUD the referral doctor. So let's create a referral doctor, and then I will show the chat feature. So we'll call him Dr. M. Surname will be M, contact name. So the username, let's put it as Dr. M, and the password we will also put as Dr. M. And we will save it. Give it a moment, and Dr. M has been added. Okay, so now let's go and go to the chat function. Here we can now talk to the referral doctors. So we can type in hi, how, and send a message. We can also upload different types of documents and images onto the chat so that the other doctor can view them. If there is a document that has been uploaded, just give it a while, it will say view document, in which they can then download the document onto their device. They can also upload images to the chat to make it easier to send, like specific wounds or something they want information about by the other doctor, by adding it here and then just waiting a second. Sorry, it is very slow because of the running software, and it will then load the image in the chat. If we then go and we then refresh the page by logging out, and then we log in then as Dr. M, DPS 0 for now, and we go to the chat function, we will then see the messages that has been sent to us by the doctor. The scene time also gets updated, and we can now just respond back. I'm doing good. And that is our Ionic component of our system.
Hello, I'm here to walk you through the add patient functionality. So here I am on the patient screen. I'm going to click add patient. Yeah, let's type in an address here in good old South Africa. Medical scheme for this patient. The username, because this patient is now being registered. That might actually be taken. Gender of the patient. w.com. Are they a dependent? Yes. Register. And then it takes you back here, but then you can see if I would go about it normally, you as the patient just got added right here. There you go. There's our lovely patient. Now, one other bit of functionality that I need to show is the ability to change addresses. So we see Miss Mary Jane here. She lives way too far. It's typed in the wrong address. And that's where she lives now. And then we save that new address. And there we go. That is where Miss Mary Jane resides currently. Okay. Other than that, I hope you guys have a lovely day. Thanks for watching my part of the video. Hello, hello. Hope you're all having a good day. I'll be going through billing for you. So this right here you can see is the billing page where you can search for specific patients which you want to assign a billing to. So here's the billing history of this patient, Mary Jane. Here we can see the invoices she has paid and the amount that she has paid for those invoices. Over here we can see outstanding invoices. So if I want to create a new invoice, I would go to the billing item. I would create a new billing item for the specific procedure that was performed during that consultation, and I would submit it. And here we are. There is another one that I have just captured here. So if you can see, sorry, just had something come up. I added some extra invoices here just to save time. So I will now navigate to billing items. Here, I already showed you the process of how you would go about in creating one. Now, let's say for this patient that I'm currently on, for Mary Jane, I want to generate a statement for a specific procedure that I performed. So let's say I performed a pendectomy, and it would email it to that specific email. The second I click, statement sent successfully, it would send it to that specific email. Unfortunately, I don't have access to this email address, but you would open up the email and then it would send it through straight to that. Anything else on this page? Well, let me first show you the export to Excel functionality. You can see here, this would be the Excel that would basically give you a rundown of all the amounts and then the total of those amounts displayed right here, which is 32,000. That how much is owed to the practice on this Excel spreadsheet. You can also generate an invoice. This should be the preview of said invoice, and you could send the invoice, and that would send it. Again, it would be an email that would get sent straight through with the email address of the patient. Again, I unfortunately do not have access to this email address, at least to my knowledge. Never mind, apparently I do indeed have access to these emails. In here you can see the invoices, the invoice I just sent through here. And yeah, here is another invoice that I sent just about the specific procedure statement that was owed. That was that one singular one that I sent. So furthermore, I showed you that functionality there. Yeah, these are all the paid invoices, obviously, but I've already went you through that. So the patient view of billing. Stupid. Would be demonstrated like this. So these are the patient's outstanding. This is what the patient owes, basically. So the patient can view their own billing history, basically what they owe. So the patient can decide to make a payment now. So the patient would click the option to make a payment. They would upload their proof of payment right here. We'd submit the proof for this specific outstanding invoice. So then me, as the system admin, I would then log in again. Butterfingers. I would review the document that she's uploaded. And I would say this document looks good enough to me. And then I would review the proof of payment, and I would, I think I would approve this payment right here, and then payments approved and captured successfully. And overall, that is the whole process of billing.